2017 is another reason. Let me turn to my face-off, because the big question now is the Narendra Modi Gujarat model cracking? That's what I want to raise. Dr. Abhishek Manu Singhvi, Member of Parliament, National Spokesperson of the Congress, and GVL Narasimha Rao, the National Spokesperson of the BJP, joins me. Mr. Narasimha Rao, what is the real reason for Anandiben Patel resigning? Is it because she is 75, or is it because she was becoming a liability?
No, Rajdeep, I think unlike most other political parties, the BJP had made an in-principle decision that politicians who are above 75 years or when they attain 75 years of age, they will retire from active political offices.
Sir, Kalraj Mishra, sir, 1 minute. Kalraj Mishra is a minister in the Narendra Modi government. He has turned 75 3 months ago. He continues as a minister. So it is okay for Kalraj Mishra to continue, but not Anandiben Patel. Let's be honest. Why not admit that that she's become a liability?
No, I think that's absolutely incorrect, because I think we have another minister, Ms. Najma Heptullah, who has resigned. We are a political party, and therefore, while we have, we are not a government of India. We are not running a government service. So when a minister, when we feel there are some minor adjustments that can get done, because for us elections are important, and therefore 75 rules remains intact, but with minor adjustments we can always make, taking into account the election schedule, taking into account other political factors. But in principle, the factor remains.
So you are saying it has nothing to do with the Patidar agitation, with the Dalit agitation, with the fact that Anandiben Patel was being seen as a liability, and importantly, the Gujarat model of Narendra Modi was actually slowly being eroded or being broken apart.
I think a lot of people would want to delude themselves into believing that Gujarat model is not succeeding. They have been proved wrong repeatedly from 2007, 2012, 14, and they'll be disappointed again in 2017. So this has nothing to do with this agitation, because Mrs. Anandiben Patel herself is a Leva Patel. That's the dominant Patidar caste in the state of Gujarat. So I don't think it has anything to do with the caste or caste agitation, and any decisions that have been made subsequent to the agitation or were made by the party. It was not an individual decision.
Sir, it seems interesting. Sir, the only reason I'm persisting with it is because it seems interesting that 24 hours after thousands of people gathered in Ahmedabad to protest against the atrocities on Dalits, about 2 weeks after Hardik Patel has come out of jail, the leader of the Patel reservations agitation, you have suddenly decided that Anandiben Patel is 75 years old and therefore she has to step aside. I'm just wondering whether this is only a coincidence.
This has been a developing situation. This has not happened suddenly today. The media might want to believe this has happened this morning. I think National President Mr. Amit Shah, as he stated, this has been a discussion because she is approaching 75.
Right.
We could not have gone into elections in end of 2017, presenting her as the Chief Minister for the next term. Okay. So if you are not going to make her the CM candidate in the next election because she is past 75, it is certainly incumbent upon the party to have a new leader who will actually take the party to the elections.
Okay,
so
you made your point.
Unlike the Congress party, which is forcing an 80-year-old Sheila Dikshit, who is tired and retired and doesn't want to fight elections, we are a party where people are willing to make way for younger leadership. I think that's something that every political party must emulate.
That's an interesting point, Abhishek Manu Singhvi. While you have got a 78-year-old, she's not yet 80, Sheila Dikshit, as your chief ministerial candidate for UP, GVL Narasimha Rao is making it clear Anandiben Patel is stepping aside because she is turning 75. That is the age limit that Narendra Modi has dictated for the BJP.
I hope you'll give me sufficient time, Rajdeep.
You always want sufficient time, but go ahead.
This is almost laughable, what I've been hearing for some time. This is almost laughable, what I've just heard. First of all, the clear inconsistency of Kalraj Mishra remains unanswered. Secondly, we never heard this rule of 75 till now, as far as the BJP is concerned, to chief ministers. It was a rule stated only for the central cabinet. Thirdly, if 75 was such a great rule, why did the BJP think of it for the first time in 2014? The obvious reason was because you wanted to put on the ornamental shelves the so-called Margdarshak Mandal, which arose from a threat perception to the Prime Minister, not from any great virtue he discovered of 75. So threat perception is what created the Margdarshak Mandal, and that is why it was with the central government. So these 3 points remain unanswered. Number 4 is interesting. It is an open secret, Rajdeep, and you have a Gujarat connection. It is an open secret for the whole world that Anandiben has been pushed to be going out for many, many months. Not now, probably years. She is a reluctant departee. She is a person who doesn't wish to go, and this is clearly after a lot of pushing and prodding that it has happened. There has been bickering and internal dissension in that state about her CM-ship. It is, of course, at the end of the day, I concede, it is a matter for the BJP to decide. It's their internal. They can put any chief minister they like.
Yes.
It's not that I have a constitutional right to intervene, but I'm only answering a question because I'm hearing all these false explanations coming.
No.
These very over-clever, glib explanations.
No, but let's be clear. Let's be clear. It's not as if it's ultimately, as you said, a BJP decision. Who the BJP has as their chief minister is their decision.
Yes. I said so. Let me complete. Therefore, the real reason is that there is a great, that's my last point, Rajdeep, there is a great amount of dissatisfaction with her governance, with her management. There is a great amount of fear in the BJP for some time now, and not as we talk, but for many months, about the fact that Gujarat is clearly slipping out of their hands. There is a fear which is a combination of misgovernance, lack of governance, and corruption charges. There is a feeling that there is a lot of dissension within the cabinet.
says the Congress has been dreaming about recapturing Gujarat since 2002, and you've got it wrong in 2002, 2007, 2012. Every time something goes wrong in Gujarat, you say this is the end game for the BJP. My big question is whether you really believe
three things
that the Gujarat model is under strain.
Rajdeep, on that showing itself, the law of probability is with us. Yes, we've been out. I think both Gujarat and indeed UP are going to be nasty shocks for the BJP. This is perhaps corrective action as they perceive it, but it may well be too little too late. Let us wait. Neither he is an astrologer nor I am an astrologer, but it is a clear open secret in Gujarat that not even the BJP, forget the Congress, is in any manner remotely satisfied with the governance they have seen. And what you have seen today is just a culmination point of a very reluctant, pushed and prodded person exiting with a very flimsy fig leaf of an excuse.
Let me bring in GBL. No, fig leaf of an excuse you are saying is 75 years, but GBL Narasimha Rao, is Anandiben Patel being pushed out? Let's be clear, Gujarat is your critical state. It's the Prime Minister's state. It's your BJP's president's state. It's not any other state. This is a state where you have the maximum political stakes in the country at the moment. Is she being pushed out? Or is there a acceptance somewhere that she has failed to perform?
I think, Rajdeep, for a party like the Congress party, which cannot look beyond a family, and therefore any kind of rules will not suit them because everything has to be done according to the diktats or to the preferences of the family. I think the 75 rule has certainly been implemented post 2014.
Kalraj Mishra. Why is Kalraj Mishra still a minister? Why is Kalraj Mishra still a minister?
Can I finish? Can I answer that? I've answered that once.
Yes.
You didn't seem to have understood it. I will say it again. In the state of Madhya Pradesh, two senior ministers who've been very successful electorally have also put in their papers, have been rather asked to step aside because of the same factor. It's a decision that the party has made. World over, people become presidents and prime ministers at the age of 40 and 50. And in India, and particularly in parties like Congress, nobody wants to leave even at the age of 90. I think this is a decision that our party has made, a conscious decision, and has to be appreciated by one and all.
It's a very good decision. It's a very good decision if it's going to be consistent. Are you telling me that any minister or any chief minister who is above the age of 75 will no longer hold their post? Is that what you are telling me? Is that the implication of what Anandiben has done today?
That's what the party has. It's not a written rule. It's not in our constitution, but it's certainly a guiding principle that we have followed, and there shall not be exceptions.
So it has nothing to do with corruption charges against her daughter. It has nothing to do with the Patidar agitation. It has nothing to do with Dalit atrocities. It is purely a decision taken on the age factor.
I think it's absolutely ridiculous to suggest that I think the Congress goes on making corruption charges while the people of the country know that Congress is synonymous with corruption. And they have only been trying to tar our image by making such allegations. They don't stick at all. I think the corruption is the last issue that the BJP faces anywhere in the country. And as far as performance is concerned, I think she has done very well. But it's as I said, a 75. She could have resigned 2 months later. She could have resigned 3 months later. But given the situation that we have an election a year later, and given that there is a vibrant Gujarat summit to 6 months or 4 months from now, she had chosen to step aside earlier. This is at a time when Congress faces internal rebellion practically in every state for their chief ministers. We have Gujarat, where there is not a murmur of dissent. There is a chief minister is honorably wanting to step aside with anyone nodding about it.
You made your point. It's an honorable exit, you're saying. I'm going to give you one final word, Abhishek Manu Singhvi, and keep it short, and please answer me directly. The BJP today on this program is making it very clear that they have informally taken a decision that no one above the age of 75 will continue as minister or chief minister. On the other hand, the Congress party, as I maintain, is making a 78-year-old Sheila Dikshit. You have an almost 90-year-old Veerbhadra Singh in Himachal Pradesh. Is the Congress ever going to consider 75 as a cut-off age?
No. 3 points, Rajdeep.
Keep it
First
1 point.
First and foremost, the Madhya Pradesh example was a bit of a hit wicket. Because Manoj Gaur, Mr. Gaur, I don't remember the exact age, was taken away after many years of 75.
Yeah, he's
having
82.
crossed 75.
Yes.
Secondly, you have not seen the degree. Yes. So what happened for 7 years of selective amnesia, I don't know. Secondly, or at least for the last 2 years. Now, secondly, the degree of unrest in Gujarat, Rajdeep, whether it is Dalits or Patidar, the degree of dissatisfaction is amazing. You just recently saw the Dalit thing. There are a large number of BJP
Give me your third point.
Non-BJP.
Your third point.
A huge amount of akrosh among citizens. And the third and the most interesting point is, no, we have no such rule, and we will make a 80-year-old or a 90-year-old where we find that governance deserves it.
Sir, you are not answering my question.
A 50-year-old or 30-year-old if we find it doesn't deserve it.
So the Congress will continue to make an 80 or 90-year-old chief minister if he deserves it. It's not about age, it's about whether the person is meritorious. You're saying the Congress's stand will be on merit.
Yes.
Not about age.
90-year-old we have? We have Sheila Dikshit, who's a shining example of good governance. We don't have 80 across the board. It's just an example, but we are not going to stick to this. Yes.
Okay, you're not going to stick to the 75-year rule. The BJP says that the exit of Anandiben Patel is occasioned by the fact that she's turning 75. It has nothing to do with the Dalit and Patidar agitations in Gujarat. But clearly the Prime Minister's home state is facing a political rumble as Anandiben Patel's exit shows today. I appreciate my guests joining me to give me a sense of what has happened in our top political story. Let me turn then from there to the story that should shame and scare every Indian. A woman is gang raped in front of her husband. Her daughter is gang raped in front of her father just 100 kilometers away from the national capital. As the horror unfolds in Bulandshahr in Uttar Pradesh, it appears that the UP police has completely failed to do this job. Watch this report and decide for yourself, is Jungle Raj returning to Uttar Pradesh?
Just 100 kilometers from the capital, a woman and her minor daughter dragged, looted and gang-raped for hours. The Delhi-Kanpur highway horror sent shockwaves across the country. And now the family threatens to end life if denied the justice.
अगर न्याय नहीं मिला, फांसी नहीं हुई, तो हम आत्महत्या कर लेंगे और जीने का अधिकार किस मुंह से जिएंगे, कहां जाएंगे?
The waylaid family made frantic calls to the UP Police's helpline number that fateful night, but their pleas for help went unanswered.
उसके बाद 100 नंबर पर 3-4 बार बैल गई है, कोई रिस्पांस नहीं मिला है.
And now serious question marks are being raised on the efficacy of UP Police probe. 36 hours after senior cops scanned the crime scene, belongings of the victims were recovered from the crime spot.
Our subscriber is right now busy. Please dial after some time. डायल किया गया नंबर अभी व्यस्त है, थोड़ी देर बाद फोन करें. Call subscriber is right now busy. Please dial after.
And that's the monotonous tone that goes on and on and on. Imagine a family in distress. Imagine a family in plight, in dire need of help. Same happened with the family from Noida that was in dire need, but probably they were given, they heard this monotonous tone over and over again.
As shocking lapses come to light, outrage builds over the brutal gang rape in Bulandshahr. Facing serious rap, UP cops arrested 5 accused and suspended 5 top officials, including the local station house officer.
They have already identified 2 people who have perpetrated the crime. Their deras have been confirmed in the neighboring districts of neighboring states, and teams have already gone over there.
As many as 6 members of the gang are still at large. The gang was allegedly behind 3 incidents of loot in last 15 days. But Uttar Pradesh cops lodged no complaints.
वैसे झूठ में फंसाया जा रहा है, वैसे मतलब उठाए बेगुनाह झूठ फंसाए जा रहे हैं, कहीं नहीं अपने घर पे थे.
UP cops now have some serious answering to do. Bureau Report, India Today.
In a moment, we'll be listening to the father of the girl who has witnessed both his wife and his daughter being gang raped. I want you to listen to him, but before that, I want to raise that question. Has Jungle Raj returned to the state of Uttar Pradesh? What does the Chief Minister and the Samajwadi Party have to say? Joining me in the studio is Vikram Singh, former DGP of UP. Also joining me is Juhi Singh, spokesperson of the Samajwadi Party. I appreciate both of you joining us. I want to turn to you, Juhi Singh. Today, do you hang your head in shame by what has happened 100 kilometers from Delhi on a national highway near a police post? A father has to go through the horror of witnessing his daughter being gang raped. A husband has to go through the horror of his wife being gang raped. Can there be anything more shocking and shameful, ma'am, than this?
Nothing. And taking you from there, it is shameful. I am ashamed. The only thing honestly I can say on this panel is that the serious is this entire incident is being taken very, very seriously by the Chief Minister. We have people who are monitoring it with very good credentials, excellent ones, like our DGP Javed Ahmed, the Principal Secretary Home Devashish Panda, then there's Lakshmi Singh, a series of good officers. We are focusing now at the moment to get the guilty to the book, to put the most relevant sections on them, take them to fast-track court, and then start identifying the gaps which happened in our administration to let such
Madam, I know these, you're giving me an answer which is not going to this is a post facto answer. This is an answer that you're giving me after the incident has occurred. The fact is that these are these large black holes in the state of Uttar Pradesh. This happened near a police post on a national highway. I repeat, police post on a national highway less than 100 kilometers from Delhi. Please understand the implications of this, madam. The implications are no one will feel safe in your state. I would not feel safe driving today with my family, ma'am, 100 kilometers away towards Bulandshahr.
Rajdeep, it's a NH and we are going to visit that part of the investigation. On this panel, what I am saying is that let us just first put the guilty to the book who have, been responsible for this incident. You've heard the father talking about it. That is, of course, a lapse, and that is, of course, going to be revisited. Some action has already been taken. Other action will also be taken.
Okay. I want a quick response from you, Vikram Singh, but before that, just listen to the father. I want you to listen to what the father, the husband of the victims have to say. This is the ultimate horror and shame of this country. Listen in.
गुस्सा आता है बहुत, ऐसा लगता है जैसे जहर खा लो मर जाओ।
कब यात्रा की आपने शुरुआत की थी और अचानक से कैसे क्या हुआ?
9 बजे यहाँ से घर से निकले हम। गड़ी चौखंटी में बड़े ताऊ के लड़के रहते हैं भाई, उनको भाभी को भतीजे को लिया। वहाँ से 11:30 बजे निकले खाना ना खा के। बुलंदशहर से 2 किलोमीटर पहले गाड़ी में ऐसा लगा किसी ने कोई चीज मारी है, तो मैंने उस चीज पे गौर नहीं दिया। मैंने कहा कोई पत्थर लगा होगा। उससे थोड़ी देर आगे चले तो ये लगा मेरी गाड़ी में से कोई चीज खुल गई है। वो देखने के लिए मैंने गाड़ी रोकी, गाड़ी की चारों तरफ घूमा हूँ। घूम के जैसे ही जो है बैठने जा रहा है तो इतने में 5 लोग आते हैं, मेरे कनपटी पे तमंचा रखते हैं, बोले हाथ ऊपर करो, हाथ ऊपर करो। हाथ ऊपर करके 2 मिनट के अंदर मेरे हाथ ऐसे पीछे बांध देते हैं और जो लेडीज मेरे साथ हैं उन्हें गाड़ी में ही छोड़ देते हैं। हमें खेतों के रास्ते ले जाके ज्वार में बांध के डाल देते हैं 3 लोगों को।
आपके साथ कौन कौन था?
मेरी बेटी थी, मेरी मिसेज थी, मेरी भाभी थी, बड़े भाई थे, ताऊ के लड़के, भतीजा था।
खेत में डालने के बाद क्या हुआ?
खेत में बांध के डाल दिया। उसके बाद हम पड़े रहे। मारा हमें बहुत, अब भी निशान है शरीर पे। हथौड़ों से मारा, सरिया थी पता नहीं क्या था उससे मारा। और मारने के बाद बोले यहीं पड़े रहो, क्या है पैसा ऐसा। मैंने कहा पैसा ऐसा जो था आपको पहले ही दे दिया मैंने। फिर 10 से 15 मिनट बाद वो गाड़ी वहीं पे ले आते हैं। ले आके गाड़ी बैग खोल के सारा वो जो खोल के देखते हैं और देखने के बाद जो है लेडीजों को हमें भी गाली वाली देते हैं। लूट लाट करने के बाद गाड़ी स्टार्ट करते हैं। गाड़ी स्टार्ट करके निकालने की कोशिश करते हैं, गाड़ी फंस जाती है। गाड़ी फंसने के बाद जब नहीं निकलती है तो आपस में लड़ते हैं। मैंने मना किया था कि गाड़ी जो है मत इधर घुसा, मत घुसा। वो आपस में लड़ने लगते हैं। गाड़ी नहीं निकली है तो ज्वार उखाड़ के गाड़ी ढक देते हैं और ढकने के बाद बोलते हैं चलो ट्रैक्टर लेके आते हैं उससे निकालेंगे। बोला यहाँ कौन बैठेगा? बोला यहाँ असलम तू बैठ जा। वो वहाँ बैठ जाता है।